DTM, the latest DTM in town, and that's DTM Dinesh Chaudhari, MBA, experience in industrial automation, program manager at Emerson's, an ardent chess player. I'm going to play with you sometime and watch those moves, Dinesh, right? An avid reader. Yes, I love to read a whole lot of it. A member of Workout Toastmasters Club since April 2018, and right now 18, and right now he's the Division C director. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Please help me welcome our next speaker for the club success plan, the elitist, DTM in town, Dinesh Chaudhary.
Thank you so much, District Training Manager, DTM Lancy D'Souza. Wow. Sir, I have one request. Don't give me session right after a humorous speech session from the district winner, Distinguished Toastmaster Joe. It's very
Is that
tough.
a joke? Is that a joke?
No, that's a genuine request.
Right, but I still got you.
All
Okay,
right.
take it away.
He's just joking. He's just joking.
What a wonderful session that was. So, ladies and gentlemen, I may not be as good as him, but I'm going to share some experiences of mine. It's what, sixth or seventh club success plan I just ended up writing for my club a couple of weeks ago. So we all know it's some follow it as a ritual, and some derive some benefits from it. Some see the value of it. Why write club success plan? So I'm sure there are quite a few XCOM members in the audience now. So how many of you have already written club success plan for your club sometime in recent past? How many of you have written club success plan for your club? Can you raise your virtual hand, please? I see three hands raised, four hands raised. Wonderful, wonderful. So at least there are few people who know about this. Thank you. So can someone from you tell me why do we need this? Why this club success plan is there? Anyone can unmute and start picking. I like to have this session interactive. I don't have any slide deck. I'm just going to speak to you, and have this interactive session. So why do we need this? Anyone can unmute.
Hi, Toastmaster Dinesh. This is Toastmaster Kunal.
Yes, Kunal.
A club success plan is needed to provide a clear and strategic roadmap for the club's growth and its achievements. We from the club success plan, we get the direction, the focus that is needed to succeed. We can plan membership engagement activities. We hold the XCOM accountable for their activities. Who is supposed to do what, how? Well, actually, the what part is much more important. How part we can work about it on the go. It is about the long-term sustainability. The XCOM, after half the term has passed, we cannot come up and say, "Oh yes, I want to do this. Let's see if we can fit it in the term." It is good if it is planned in advance, and with that, I believe it is also about resource management. It can be financial resources, it can be our human resources, from our club members. That's about it that I can think of right now.
All right, quite a few things, Kunal, and you said quite a few things: strategic, linear, success plan, long term, sustainable. Oh my God, quite a few words out there. So yes, for sure, all of those things are there. Some more prominently, is it long term? That's the one word. Let's pick up. Club success plan. Is it for long term? How do we define long term? What's long term for you, Kunal? Maybe let me start with you again. What's long term for you?
Long term for me is the term of my club.
Okay, 6 months.
6 months, annual, however the club runs. For
Whatever is the term.
my club
Okay.
is has an annual term, so yes, my long term is 1 year.
Okay, wonderful. So all great thoughts. Yes, we do club success plan for all that. Anyone else wants to add on to it? Why do we do club success plan?
It is a plan to continue the club for a long run because without any uh, deviations in the process, complying to the standards of the Toastmasters International, maintaining the harmony in the changing hands as well.
Okay. Was that Toastmaster Dinesh who spoke this?
This is Shravan, Toastmaster Shravan.
Shravan. Sorry, I'm not able to somehow see who is speaking, but okay, Shravan. Okay, so maintain harmony, long-term plan for the club. Okay, I hear you. Anyone else? Okay, fine. I think a couple of them did say quite a few things which we actually do it for. Those are correct. Uh, See, whenever we start any project, when you are an excom, you are elected as an excom member for a club. Could be term for an annual term or could be for 6 months. You have your own term. You have certain objectives for the club, and it's we call it long term, but sometimes long terms means 2 year, 3 year, 5 year. But here in this club success plan, we are planning for your term. We are planning for 6 months or 12 months, and we want the club to be successful. Now, what do you mean by successful club? What does how do you define a club which is successful? Again, I want to hear from audience here.
When we have minimum 20 members to run
Minimum
the
how many members?
20, 20
20
members to run
members.
our club. Yes, and we are
Okay.
sustaining our membership.
Okay, 20 members and sustaining membership. Okay. Anyone else? How do you define success for the club? When would you call a club successful club?
I Toastmaster Omkar here. When the club achieved 10 DCP points.
10 DCP points. Okay. DCP points. Okay. Anyone else?
Yeah, like anything else that requires success in a
Renewals,
business.
number of renewals is also determine the success of the club.
Number of renewals. Yes. Okay. Good. Toastmaster Pavitra, you are saying something?
Yes, like anything else in life or in business, if it is not planned, it's just a random walk. So just like anything else, a plan is required here to succeed.
Yeah. Why do we
It is
need club
organized.
success plans? We got to plan and then we achieve it. Right. So, you know, what is club success? And Toastmaster has this beautiful, very nice metric that is called as DCP. And someone said about it, when you achieve 10 DCP, that's the success. Is that the success for everyone? 10 DCP points. Is that the uniform target for each club in the district? Do we need 10 or 8 or 7? What's a good number? Well, I'll answer you that. So in Toastmasters, we always talk about continual improvement. We say that we check ourselves, have you spoken better than what you did last time? Are you a better version of yourself? We always say, are you improving? Are you making new mistakes? Are you learning from your old mistakes and not repeating those? So are you a better version of yourself? So if you apply same thing to the club, we'll say that club is, if it is doing better than what it was 6 months ago, better than what it was doing 12 months ago, that club is doing good. Is that okay? Everybody with me here? Everybody agrees with this? Someone say 20 members is a good milestone to have, but if some club started with 8 members, if they get to 20, that's good, that's wonderful. But what if they get to 15? Is that good? Is that good enough? So essentially what I'm saying is, it's very important to know where you are starting from, and based on that you set your goals. If you are certain level, if you are going 2 steps up, 3 steps up, then you should have your targets. Even when we have our annual targets set in the organization, what did they do? They say, okay, what did you do last year, or what are you doing this year? And based on that, they'll give us incremental targets for next year. Is that not right? Isn't that how the planning exercises happen in the corporates as well? It does, right? So that's the thing, you know. Whenever we are starting a new term as excom officer, we want to plan. We want to know where our club is, and we want to set the criteria for success. And for all this, we are having our club success plan. We are documenting all these things in the club success plan, that this is my criteria of success. One of the first things that you ask in club success plan is, what is your current member strength? And then where you want to go, what is your target member? So if you are at 10, maybe you can set target of 15, or you can also have lofty goal of I want to be 30 or 40. But is it achievable? So it's important to have lofty targets. It's very important to set stretch targets, but then it should not be unrealistic, right? So if you're 10, you'll probably set 15, 20. So that's the document CSP, club success plan, that you use for. At the start of the term, you discuss, you come together, you write down, and I'm sure all of you know the power of writing down things. Even in your personal goals, I've tried it. I'm sure you can also try it. If you want to achieve something, write it down. Down the line, 6 months from now, I want to achieve this in my personal life. When you write it down, it gets written down. You can come back to it and you can refer it. Okay, this is what I had said at the start of the term, and this is where I want to go. So that is where there is this exercise, there is this process in Toastmasters, that at the start of the term, you have this club success plan, you write down your goals, and then refer to it. Is club success plan one time document? Do we set it at the start of the term and then we cannot change it, or can we change it? How many times do we write the club success plan? Anyone? We can change.
Every time there is a change in team, it is good practice to review the success plan and rewrite it.
All right. So change in the team is one change, but there could be many different changes that might happen, right? Team might change, circumstances might change, situation might change. So depending on that, we need to adjust our plans. We need to adjust our goals. We need to adjust our strategy at times. We don't adjust goals at times. We just adjust the strategy at times. Suppose we have set target to increase membership by 25% or 50%, and then we have put down, okay, we'll do open house here, we'll do open house there, because we say in goals you should be specific. You should say that I'll have open house in August or in September, but something happens and you cannot have it that time. You'll say, okay, instead of August, I'll have it in November or something like that. So this is a continual document. This is not something that you write at the start of the term and then you just refer it, you don't change it, right? So now let's get started with this. At least we know what is club success plan, what it is for, why we have to do it. So if we have established that, let's move on how to get started with it. So to write a club success plan, in fact, for any activity, we say there is a pre-work, there is something you do. For example, club success plan, there is some pre-work, some things to need prior to club success plan, and then you actually write the club success plan, and your steps after that, you have to follow it, you have to adjust it, whatever that. So there are 3 steps process, right? So what could be potential pre-work? What could be the things that you should do prior to writing club success plan? Any guesses, any good practices, any ideas? Any wild guesses?
To understand the current strength of the members and then how much we require more, looking at their pathways, and accordingly how many more we need to add, and what is our target for next 6 months.
Okay, to know the current strength of members, how many members are there? Okay, that's
Yes.
one point. What else?
And review the last MOT report. That also will give some inputs to
Okay,
update the
the
success rate.
last MOT report. Okay, and what do you mean by last? Does it mean like 6 months prior, or what's the time?
Within 6 months, there should be one MOT at least. If it is not, have to go for the last one.
Wonderful. That's a very, very good input. So we have to conduct MOT. MOT is moments of truth, where we get to know about the club health. And it's not just about membership. Even when we are talking about what does success, what means success for a club, it's not just having 30, 40, 50 members. It's about having quality meetings. It's about members delivering speeches and improving themselves. It's about member achieving the goals, isn't it? It's about whatever. It's not just membership. It's about educational. It's about administrative things. Meeting start on time, meeting end on time. So all these things taken together defines club success. It's not just having 40, 50, 60 members. Is that right? Are you with me here? Okay, so we talked about MOT. We talked about
Yes,
understanding the
absolutely.
Wonderful. Thank you, Toastmaster Santosh. So it's about understanding the present condition of the club, isn't it? So that's the first thing you do. And how do you do it? You do it with MOT. And typically, I've seen it many a times. Area director visit often, and it's not a rule. It's not that area director only has to conduct MOT. That's not the rule, but that's the practice. More often than not, we see that happening. So area director typically visits the club. Suppose for installation in the very first meeting, if area director is able to visit, and that time if we are able to conduct MOT, you have the fresh report, right? You have the report as what has happened in last 6 months, how members are enjoying the journey in this club or not enjoying the journey in this club. What are the areas of improvement? You have that fresh feedback, don't you? So we can leverage that feedback. We can have that MOT done, and we can have those points taken and then take those as input for club success plan. DTM Shirish, you have hand raised. Do you have any inputs for us, please?
Yes, the club success plan and MOT are quite different. Club success plan is you set your goals with membership, DCP points, etc. MOT, you don't have DCP points. MOT is for how the new member sees your club.
Sure.
So that is a
Okay.
big difference between MOT and club success plan.
For sure. Thank you, sir. Yeah, and that's valid. I mean, those are not same things. But sir, what point I was trying to bring here is we get certain inputs about the club health. How club is doing right now. Because even when I open the club success plan now, we have something called a situational analysis. How the club is doing now, if the members are enjoying the journey or not. So I was referring that we can get certain pointers for those points from the Moments of Truth report. There we have certain sections which tell how we are doing on certain things. So I was saying that if we have it done, we'll know current condition. We'll know certain things that we can ponder over when we are writing the club success plan. Thank you, sir.
Yes, you will get some indication. Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So that's the one input we get. And second thing is, have you heard about the membership interest member survey? There is a member survey, and I'm trying to open it, and I'll show you how the form looks. But member interest survey, there is one survey in Toastmasters. Have you filled it sometime, or have you asked your club members to fill it? Member interest survey form. It's form 403 in Toastmasters parlance. Okay, looks like not many have filled it, but let me share that form real quick with you, and I'll share my screen. Okay, so ideally we ask all the all the participants, all the members from club to fill this form, and typically we ask them what are your goals, why you have joined this club. And there are a lot of interests. What do you want to do? Some people might say, my goal for next year is to complete one path, or to get triple crown award, to complete 3 levels in certain pathway. So there are some pointers you will get from this as well, as to what members need, what are members interest. So this is all the pre-work we can potentially do. We can know what is the health of the club through MOT, member interest survey. If we have all those forms filled, we might get what are members' interest, and whatever plans we are having for the success of the club, we can get some pointers as to how to approach it. What things might work, what things might not work. You might get pointers for those from this members' interest survey form. So it would be get this done prior to writing the club success plan. Okay, and now come to the crux of it, club success plan. It is a very simple 10-page document. Typically XCOM sit together and fill it, and it is all about how to achieve the DCP points. It's about how to approach is, who is responsible for it, what will do, when will do, all the specifics you are writing in that club success plan. Is that right? Everyone with me so far? Any questions, any doubts? All good so far? All right, so we spent quite a few time on this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to dive deep actually into club success plan, and we'll run through all the pages of it, and I'll give you some guidance as to what practices I've been following so far. And I'm sure if you have anything to add on to it, please feel free to chime in, and we'll have this collaborative session. So first and foremost, as XCOM officer, as I said, Toastmasters has set this amazing metric, which is they have educational goals, they have administrative goals, they have training goals, they have membership goals as well. So all this taken together forms the DCP system, Distinguished Club Program. So it has all 10 points spread across all different disciplines, all different areas. So our goal as XCOM, if we concentrate on, if we focus on just trying to get the DCP points, a lot might get achieved, a lot would get achieved. For example, goal 7 and 8 is about membership. Add 4 members, add 4 more members. So if we try to achieve it, we are already getting 8 new members. Educational goals, if members are completing levels, I am considering that all of us already know about DCP goals. What are DCP goals, right? So for you who do not know DCP goals, these are the 10 DCP goals, and that's the baseline set on the very first page of CSP, Club Success Plan. That as our XCOM officer, one of primary goals is to try to get as many DCP points as possible, and then byproduct is you get more members. Byproduct is members are delivering speeches. Byproduct is they are filling levels, and then we are getting DCP goals, isn't it? Byproduct is members are getting trained. You know, if you have 4 members trained in each cycle, you get 1 DCP point. And if members are trained, they'll bring all that knowledge in your club, isn't it? So it's like all these pointers are so beautifully designed that it's going to help us in the club business. So very simply put, all these 10 pages of CSP, those revolve around how are you going to get those 10 DCP points. Do you need to get all 10? You decide what you are going to target. If your club has been achieving 8, 9, 10 consistently, probably you'll target for 10 again. If your club is struggling, if last year you had just 2 or 3, you might plan for 5 or 7. So you decide what you have to target, incremental target you have for your club with your team, and then make a plan for it. So one thing, as I said, CSP is all about how to achieve Distinguished Club Program, DCP points. Now, when you start, first page sets the baseline that, you know, the goal is to achieve the DCP goals. And what are those DCP goals? That is given here. Now, let's go to next page. Here we start setting the ground rules. Before actually writing what are the goals, you set the ground rules. How this team is going to function together. How this team is going to work together. By defining the values. What values we are going to stand by. Isn't it? So now Toastmasters International has already their own set of values, which we all know. Can someone just tell me what are the values of Toastmasters International?
Mutual respect of our members.
Okay, respect. Anything else?
Integrity.
Integrity. Yeah. Integrity, respect. What more? IRAC, right? Have you heard of that term?
Yeah. excellence is the last value.
Right. So, so integrity, respect, service, and excellence. These are the Toastmasters value. And being a part of Toastmasters club of that movement, we definitely have to adhere to this value. But on top of that, in this club, what values we are going to adhere to? So it's very important before you start writing all the detailed plans. You talk about these are the value. Maybe IRAC is the values. Of course, we all adhere to it. But on top of that, these two values, those are dear to us. What is it? Think about it. The start of writing a club success plan and detail it here. Write it here in the club success plan. Next, how will you interact with each other? I think these are very basic things, but it's very important that we write it down. We're going to interact maybe in person, maybe over groups, maybe frequently. We'll have some clubs. I've seen passionate clubs, they have XCOM meeting every single week, while others they say, okay, we'll meet every month only. So whatever works for you. There's no silver bullet here. There's nothing like it has to happen certain way, right? But
Yes.
at least it should not yes, sir.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt. Trainer Dinesh has agreed. You've got another 4 minutes left. Just thought
All
I'd
right.
preempt you.
Sure. All right. Thank you, sir. So you set the standard, you say what are your values, you say how will you interact, and then this is a group. The difference of opinion is bound to happen. There will be differences of opinion. How will you resolve it? What are your ground rules to resolve the differences of opinions? It is very good to talk about it and write it down at the very start of your term. This will serve as a guide whenever there are differences. You can come back to this and you can say these are the things we have agreed, and this is how we'll resolve the conflicts. Next, how will the members be engaged? And this is where some of the things we might benefit from, knowing the MOT report, knowing the member survey report. Few indicators we might get from there. How was, when was it conducted? Last MOT was conducted, and how beneficial it was for the club, and so on. All these things you can get all those inputs from there. So you set the ground rules, the current situation, and then move on to actual writing goals. Now we all are aware of educational goals, 6 educational goals. So now here we plan. The very first goal is 4 people getting level 1 completed, pathways level 1 completed, isn't it? So we plan, we say that these are the new members, they are probably finished a path, or they are new members now, they are about to start their journey. So we look which are the probable candidates who can finish this level in next 3, 4, 5, 6 months. You get this from member interest survey report as well. There few people have said that I'll complete level 5, I'll file my DTM, or I want to do this. So support their goals by having this written in club success plan. Ultimately, we advise that once XCOM writes all this club success plan, it is a good idea to share this with club as well, with all the club members. And if I have written my goal that I want to finish a path, and I see my name written here that level 5, Dinesh owes level 5 to the club, and 1 DCP 5 to the point to the club. So in a way, I get that confidence that club is listening. Whatever I have written in member interest form, that actually my name is there in club success plan. So club is planning for my own interest. So that way that loop gets closed. And again, although we have written 4 names only, I advise plan for 5, 6, 7 more people. Plan on having backups. It's okay to have more than 4 names here. Next, so all these 6 goals, level 1 completion, 2 completion, all the goals 1 to 6 are about educational goals. And then you have strategies, what obstacles you might get. And you probably know this from MOT report as well, or you hear from experiences. You get help of IPP as well. It's not just the new 7 people have to write this report. From IPP as well what has happened, what were the typical obstacles there. You listen to them and then write down those here, and then devise your own strategy, how we are going to attack it, how we are going to get around this, and how we are still going to be successful to get all 4, 5, 6, whatever DCP points you target from this bucket. So same pattern for us for your membership goals as well. We know goal 7 and 8 is add 4 members, that's goal number 7. Add 4 more members, that is goal number 8. So how are you going to go about it? Write specifics. For example, you can write that there is a educational institute near to me. I'm going to go there, visit them. I'm going to tell them about this program. I'll introduce my club and tell them, you can join our club. It could be a community club, or if it is a corporate club, you can always say, I'm going to have a big fat open house inviting all the graduate trainee engineers, right? So you can have very specific. I'll have it August 1st half, or I'll have it on August 14th, whatever it is. So if you are specific, you can put these things in your calendar already, and you are planning this at the start of the year. So all this detailed plan you can do here itself. And next, training goals. We all know that one of the goals is at least 4 officers should be trained in each cycle. So you can check, maybe president is out of India and the TLTP is only on offline, or there could be other challenges, and we know that these are the 4 officers for sure are going to attend. So tick in front of their names that, okay, we are planning on these 4. Typically, ideally, we recommend all 7 should undergo training, but there could be certain challenges. So make plans which 6, which 5, which 4 are going to attend it. Ideally, all 7. That's the recommendation. And next one are administrative goals. Now we have to do the club officer list on time. On time meaning if it is an annual term before June 30th, or on June 30th you have to update it on TI portal. And if it is biannual term, before December 31st and before June 30th you have to update this list, and then you get the DCP point, right? So who is going to do it? You are defining responsibility as well here. Who is it? Secretary, or is it someone else who is going to do it? You are writing the name of that person here, right? And you also have a space to talk about what are the challenges, how will you overcome the challenges. For each DCP goal, you are doing that planning, you are doing that pondering, how to attack, how foresee the challenges and then plan around it. So that's the simple document we have, this club success plan. And I know it used to be longer document, but it is very succinct. 10-page document, of which one is a summary and last 2 pages are action items and then sign. So ideally there are 7 pages to fill with specific information, and it is all about how you are going to achieve the DCP points for your club. So that's all I have for this session.
Right.
If you have any questions, DTM Lancy, do you have a couple of minutes for questions?
Yes, we do. I just wanted to, that's fine. Thank you. First and foremost is, ladies and gentlemen, please put our hands together. Let's make some noise for our trainer that we had, DTM Dinesh. Right, okay. So officially, yes, we've had the 2 trainers and they've gone through their 9 yards of explaining everything within the 2 respective workshops. For the next 10 minutes, we've got the floor open for question and answers. You can take that up. If you've got anything specific, please notify so that, Joe, are you in the room?
Yes.
Let's be fair enough. Let's have 5 minutes first for Joe and the rest 5 minutes for Tosnad and Dinesh. Is that okay? Yeah, so we do not crisscross people, and we have it in a very systematic way. All right, so for the next 5 minutes, the floor is open. Any questions can be directed to our first trainer, that is Toastmaster Joe. Take it away.
So good afternoon, everyone. So this is PM Hai Krishna this side. So my question is for Joe. I would like to ask, like, when you have a experience or a moment and you wanted to incorporate in your speech or humorous speech, so what is the steps you take to convert it into a good joke? Because it's really hard, because at that point of time that moment was very funny, but now, like, some jokes are like that, when you dictate it they become less funny. So to maintain that kind of happiness, what is the trick or any steps on that?
Okay.
So there is an incident, and we are putting that into a script. And however, we feel that there isn't enough humor, so this is where we will have to rewrite the script, try all the techniques, and whichever techniques through which we will be able to insert a little more humor. Let's say if the line is about describing that I went to office and then there is something which is happening at my office which I wanted to showcase where I became the victim. So what elements can we bring in there? Maybe describing the boss in a funny way. Right? So everybody would be able to relate when you say that this is how bosses are. So that is one way. So you are describing your boss, which they will start imagining their boss. And then other technique would be the conversation. You can, instead of just a speech, make it into a conversation where you can bring in a vocal variety, like speaking. I'm just giving an example. So let's say you brought in the character of boss, we have described the boss, and then there is a conversation happening between you and the boss. So when the boss is speaking, it's a different body language or a tone or expression you're using, or even the way you speak, the gestures and all that. And versus when you are speaking, it's a different. So they get to experience two different voices or two different people. We could use even that to induce humor. Like earlier when I was sharing about my district winning speech about hair loss, the moment I reveal that Indu is beautiful, Indu is wonderful, and then I say the full name is Indu Lekha. So on my right hand, I have this Indu Lekha hair oil. And as I'm doing that, I just use my left hand to put the hoodie down. So there is nothing extra I'm doing. Like there's no extra time I'm taking for the humor. I'm just revealing my beautiful head, right? So there is no extra joke there. I'm revealing that this is the hair oil. Indu is what I'm referring to is the hair oil. At the same time, I remove the hoodie to showcase my head, and that they were already laughing for the Induleka. And just when I did the hoodie part, there was continuous humor. That it was added humor. So this is how every little aspects we'll have to look at on how to keep inserting the humor part. Is it the player? Is it the expressions? Is it wordplay? Is it another comparison, or let's say comparing it with something else? Or what more can I add to the line to make it humorous? And again, as I said, don't be satisfied. Keep adding. Keep revising that.
Okay, just as a precaution, we can take 2 more questions for the first session. And please, when you are asking a question, be precise, concise. Very often we get people who ask the question and then they also answer the question. So let's have the next 2 questions precise, concise, in the shortest possible way for Toastmaster Joe to also reply back precisely. Thank you. Over to you.
I've got a question.
Yes, sure.
Hey, hi, Joe.
Hi, sure.
First of all, great event. Thank you so much for all the insights that you've given us. I had a question, and I'm sure you must have addressed this already in multiple forums, and I may have missed it. But then often we see usage of Hindi language, let's say, for that matter, in Toastmasters Club. For example, let's say I'm giving a humorous speech contest. If I have to talk about a song, I obviously, if it's a Hindi song, the usage of Hindi will be there. My first question is it allowed? And second is, if yes, do we have any limitation to that?
So all our Toastmaster speeches, not just humorous speech, let it be all the different formats of humorous speeches, it is in English, right? So even if we end up using any other language, it's important to explain that what you meant. So imagine in a humorous speech, you have used a Hindi word or a song to induce humor, and then you have to sit and explain that. You have diluted the humor there. And you need to be one is you being universal. Is there even one of my audience who did not get that joke? In fact, one of my humorous speech was that landing in Pune without knowing Hindi, and how the things which I had to face, like where I don't know Hindi, and that was my full-length humorous speech, like Tamil and Hindi, my misunderstanding versus what they are trying to say in Hindi. So that was my humorous speech. But what I'm trying to say here is, like, even if you have one person from your audience who did not get your joke, you're losing a few of them, right? So make sure that everybody, every single person, the chair, table, pen, notepad, everything in the room is understanding your job. So avoid any other language, keep it English. That will be universal.
All right, thank you. We've almost taken about 6.5 minutes for the session. So technically, I will have to shift on to the next person, and that's the trainer, DTM Dinesh. The floor is open, ladies and gentlemen. You may pose questions, and as I said, we're restricted to because of time. We'll make it to 3. If it's too long-winded, we'll have it the last 2 questions. All right, the floor is open. Come on, people. I thought we all wanted to have a club success plan.
I'm just patting my back, sir. I think I did a wonderful job.
I know. But they're still waiting only for the humor part of it. The success also comes in with the club plan.
So somebody is writing a question. If club, sorry, what was it? The last question. Can club have 2 emotes in 6 months? Yeah, that's what is recommended, right? You have moments of truth every 6 months. So that's the normal practice, Omkar. Okay, so that was one. I'll probably go.
Someone could
I
use a
don't want
combination
too
of
difficult questions.
yeah, so someone can have a combination of humorous as well as seriousness. So
Okay, Shoaib Sheikh, you had written 6 minutes ago. You had a question. Did you ask it? Was it for Joe?
I did.
Problem.
So it was me about the Hindi one, yeah.
Okay, wonderful. If club has enough members, can club success plan include opening a new club so everyone gets chance for speeches, training, etc.? And I think this is from Pavitra. Pavitra, you can add this to your area success plan. Typically, club success plan is focused on club. Now, how do you get the 10 DCP points? That's the very specific focus for club success plan. All these things help your area. You are area director, so give me 4 new clubs. Put it in your area success plan. That would work.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Okay, I think that's it. DTM Lansing.
There is one for on how to file online club success plan. I
Yeah.
think it's more about the dashboard, the success plan, our club central. Asked by Toastmaster Denis.
Okay, Toastmaster Danish, as it stands now, they have not opened it, but it's a web-based form, and you can actually go there and write all these things there in a form, and you can submit it at the end of it. So lots of technological new things are coming up. Earlier we used to download it, editable PDF was there, you used to upload it. So that is still there, but on top of that, they have this web-based form, and it's once you have access, you can fill it. It's very self-explanatory, but it's just that right now it's under maintenance. It's not open. Maybe I don't know when they open it, but right now it's not open is what I've seen from the dashboard, from the TI login. Okay, so that was 3.
Okay, we finished up, right? Okay. Joe, probably if you smile, you might get many more people willing to ask you the last question. But of course, I do agree with you totally when you said that even humor can come out of tragedy. Particularly when the Wall Street crash happened out, there was this stockbroker, just like a whole lot of people who had lost money, and of course, some of them had committed suicide. But he started off something. He says after the crash, he said, "Last night I slept like a baby. Every half an hour I woke up and cried." So there was humor even after that particular crash, right? Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank everybody in the room. Of course, first and foremost, let's thank our trainers. So please put your hands together along with me digitally. Any way that you can express your gratitude, please do so. All right. Come on, people. As much as you like gratitude and you like appreciation, let's appreciate this wholeheartedly, absolutely with them. Right, okay. Of course, I'd like to thank everybody that's assembled in the room, taken up their time to get in there. but the one thing that I have learned over the last 25 years that I've been in the Toastmaster fraternity is absolute. The one thing that has got me to where I am is training. Training gives you a whole lot of knowledge. And the knowledge that you picked up here into the session that you have, yours and mine success lies in how we take it away and how do we pass it on to the others, and how effective we are in communicating, and most importantly, our leadership skills. If there's anything that people would like to know, we still have 2 more sessions coming in tomorrow morning. It's a Sunday, lazy afternoon. But that's what happens. No matter how lazy we are, we always rise up to the calling. And in here, it's absolute to pick up the Toastmasters tenets of leadership and communication, and eventually pass on our skills and techniques to the rest of the community and the rest of the world. Anything else that we would like people in here? It's clocking 53. Another 2 minutes for all the smiles in here. If anybody's got a trigger-happy camera, let's pose. Dinesh, do we have anybody in the room that says, let's all pull in and take out photographs?
Raghavendra, are you on laptop? Are you able to take a picture?
Yes,
of
yes,
your
I can take a picture.
Wow.
Request others to.
Yeah. You can always tell us which profile would you like, the left, the right side, because I normally look good on my right.
Okay, I think you look good in both, but it's up to you.
Well, I'm motivating people. That's what we are. We're called the influencers. All right,
Yeah.
people. Yeah.
Minal,
Say-
Shoaib,
say-
Shab.
Yeah. Say shawarma, because cheese is melting too fast these days. Tell us when you're ready, and we'll put
Says-
in our infamous smiles.
Smile. 1 minute.
Come on, Shoaib.
Okay.
Let's see your smile. Oh, finally.
We had 50, but at the fine. No problem. Thank you, everyone.
Taken? All
Yes.
right, then. All right. Thank you, everybody in the room. Good luck, good cheer, good afternoon. It's open for the next few minutes for friendship and networking.